The movie Gulliver's Travels begins with a boy named Gulliver who is very happy with his life. He works for a company, and one day he is shown interviewing a new candidate. During the interview, Gulliver asks some casual questions and later learns that the boy has been hired. Gulliver then takes the new employee on a tour of the office where they meet Darcy, a girl Gulliver secretly likes. The new hire quickly picks up on Gulliver's feelings for Darcy, noticing that Gulliver lacks the courage to express them. Later, while Gulliver and the new employee are in an elevator, Darcy joins them. Seizing the opportunity, the new hire leaves, giving Gulliver and Darcy a chance to talk and get to know each other better. The next day, Gulliver is seen enjoying himself in the office when the newly hired employee arrives. The newly hired employee reveals to Gulliver that he has been promoted and is now Gulliver's supervisor. He bluntly points out that Gulliver's self-satisfied nature has delayed his career growth and suggests that he should work on changing himself. The employee even remarks that Darcy doesn't return Gulliver's feelings because of his attitude. These words leave Gulliver feeling worried. Determined to make an impression, Gulliver goes to Darcy's office and picks up a travel information form. When Darcy asks if he likes traveling, Gulliver eagerly responds, claiming he has visited places like New York, England, and even India. Darcy is pleased and encourages him to write about his experiences. However, Gulliver faces a dilemma as he has never actually traveled anywhere. He lied to impress her. Struggling to write, he copied content from various online articles. Darcy, unaware of this, is impressed with his work and suggests that he write about visiting the Bermuda Triangle. Motivated by her suggestion, Gulliver sets off the next day for the Bermuda Triangle. Upon arrival, the boat captain gives him instructions to navigate the waters by following a red track to reach his destination. The captain explains to Gulliver that he can press a button in reverse to return safely, to which Gulliver confidently responds, "It's no big deal for me. I'll handle it with ease." Setting off for the Bermuda Triangle, Gulliver begins his journey but eventually falls asleep during the journey. While he sleeps, a violent sea storm engulfs his boat. When Gulliver wakes up, he is shocked to find himself tied down by ropes, surrounded by tiny creatures standing on his body. These tiny beings, called Lilliputians, they thought Gulliver as a giant who might harm or eat them. The Lilliputians had even built a bridge over Gulliver's body and brought their army, which is led by a general, to ensure he couldn't escape. When Gulliver attempts to stand, the Lilliputians pull him down again, causing him to fall and accidentally trap one of their soldiers beneath him. The tiny army then drags Gulliver to their king. Gulliver tries to explain to the king, "I am neither a giant nor a demon. I'm just an ordinary human being. Please tell me, where am I?" Still disbelieving his eyes, Gulliver is taken to a prison by the Lilliputians. There, he meets another prisoner named Horatio, who is as tiny as the Lilliputians. Curious, Gulliver asks Horatio, "Why are you here?" Horatio reveals that he has feelings for the princess, which led to his imprisonment by the jealous general, who is the princess's fiancé. While they talk, the general arrives, and Gulliver boldly calls him a stupid person. Confused, the general asks for the meaning of the word, and Gulliver cheekily explains that it means brave person. Taking it as a compliment, the general begins proudly calling himself stupid. One day, the general puts Gulliver on a cart and rides him through the city. At this time, another kingdom attacks. The palace catches fire, and everything becomes chaotic. The attackers try to kidnap the princess. Gulliver steps in and heroically rescues the princess from danger. Even though he tries hard, the fire keeps spreading, and the people start to panic. Gulliver calms the frightened crowd, saying, "Listen, there's no need to panic. I'll take care of it." He finally puts out the fire, saving the palace and the people. In the process, the general accidentally gets soaked and leaves in anger. Seeing Gulliver's bravery, the king is very happy and grateful for his help. The king invites Gulliver to a special feast to honor him. Gulliver agrees, but only on the condition that Horatio is released. The king accepts, and Horatio is freed. During the feast, Gulliver dines with the king and the Lilliputians. Curious, the king asks Gulliver if he came from the river. Gulliver replies, "No, I'm from New York." Thinking it is an important title, the Lilliputians believe Gulliver is the president of New York. Gulliver begins bragging about his adventures, saying he saved the city and its people, and acts like a great and wise leader. Impressed, the king promises to search for Gulliver's boat and provides him with a grand house to live a comfortable life in Lilliput. Meanwhile, Gulliver and Horatio discuss ways to impress the princess. Following Gulliver's advice, Horatio starts acting bravely and even copies some of Gulliver's silly behavior. Despite this, the princess begins to like Horatio over time. That same night, the general secretly searches for Gulliver's boat, hoping to send him away from Lilliput. Gulliver finds his boat and retrieves his cell phone, where he discovers a voicemail from Darcy. In the message, Darcy reveals, "I'm coming to meet you." Gulliver listens intently, realizing she's on her way to find him. Soon, the the kingdom is attacked again by its opponents. Horatio rushes to inform Gulliver that the king has appointed him as the new general to defend their land. Gulliver steps forward to confront the attackers and attempts to negotiate, urging them to retreat. However, the opponents ignore his plea and begin pelting stones at him, which cause him no harm. In response, Gulliver uses his strength to pull their boats ashore, ultimately securing a victory for the kingdom. This triumph elevates Gulliver to the status of a hero, and the people celebrate their success with him. The princess ends her relationship with the general, who becomes very jealous and wants revenge. Angry, the general teams up with the enemy kingdom and steals a book from Gulliver's boat that shows how to build a robot. Using this knowledge, the general constructs a robotic suit and confronts Gulliver while equipped with the mechanical weapon. When the robot attacks, Gulliver is thrown into the air, and his confidence wavers as fear takes hold. During the confrontation, Gulliver's true nature is exposed, and he admits to everyone that his grand tales and boasting were nothing but lies. The general captures Gulliver, ties him up, and sends him away. Gulliver finds himself in a strange land and initially believes he has returned to his world. However, he soon realizes he is in Brobdingnag, a place where giants live, much taller than him. A child treats Gulliver as a toy doll, making his situation worse. During his Gulliver reunites with Horatio, who brings urgent news. Darcy has arrived in their region, but has been imprisoned by the general along with the king. Horatio pleads with Gulliver to rescue them, as he is the only one who can help. That night, Gulliver sneaks into the castle and locates the imprisoned king and Darcy. The next day, a fierce battle ensues between Gulliver and the general, who is still in his robot suit. Initially, the robot overpowers Gulliver. However, Horatio cleverly disables some of the robot's wires, giving Gulliver the opportunity to destroy it. The king expresses his gratitude and approves Horatio's marriage to the princess. Meanwhile, Darcy forgives Gulliver for his earlier lies and mistakes. As the celebrations start, the general tries one more time to capture the princess, but the princess frees herself by hitting the general, and he loses control of her. In the end, Darcy goes to Gulliver, and the movie ends on a happy and victorious note.